Listeners, beware, you're in for a scare.
Greetings, spooks and ghouls. Welcome to Nightmare on Fear Street, an R.L. Stine podcast. This week, the horror will grow on you till it sticks to you. It also comes conveniently in a blue can called Monster Blood. This week, we're talking all about Monster Blood. Isn't that right, Meg?
Yep, and I'm digging the new intro that we're doing.
Ooh, yeah, I thought let's do something different, a little more spooky.
You should definitely do that every week from now on.
Sweet. So, how was your week?
I took my friend to go see The Fly with Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum.
Did she like it? Did she like the body horror?
She did. She had only seen Videodrome. That was her first, Cronenberg experience. I mean, she'd only seen part of Videodrome. So The Fly was her first, full hour-and-a-half long Cronenberg experience.
What's your favorite part in The Fly?
I like the bit where he's climbing around on the ceiling and Gina Davis comes in and she's like, "What's going on with you?" And he just kind of casually points to, an insect leg coming out of his rib cage and he's like, "Ha, what's that?" I don't know.
I like the part where he throws it up on the guy's hand and it just starts melting off.
That was pretty gross.
The entire movie is so gross, but I love it. I wonder.
The thing that I don't like about The Fly is the fact that they keep saying the word flesh until it no longer sounds like a real word. That is peak Cronenberg.
It's also the part that I remember is like his body parts are falling off and it keeps him in the jars and it's just it's just a daily occurrence.
The Museum of Seth Brundle.
Yes. Also the sequel, I didn't care for the sequel all that much.
I didn't know there was a sequel.
There's a sequel, it's all about his son.
Oh.
It's really bad. It's awful. My week was good. I actually won a 90s throwback party. I dressed as R.L. Stine.
Nice.
So that was interesting. And other than that, I went to this weird place in Whittier. I got some books, and I picked up this one book, which I think you're going to really appreciate.
I think I will too.
Okay, so it's called Swamp Master, and it's in the font of Stranger Things. So the cover is this really buff guy with a compound bow and a head bandana. And the tagline to the thing, it's post-nuclear America is powder keg meet the spark.
What year was this book made?
92.
Good.
So same year as... Okay, so...
Same year as Goosebumps.
You want to hear the back of this book?
Lay it on me.
Techno slaughter. They crawled up from the radioactive garbage of America's second revolution. The armed enemies of freedom. They swarm across occupied Florida like a fungus. The enslaved masters fear them. The lucky few escape them. But when man defines them, Swamp Master. His name is John Flyercloud, a Native American trained the ancient shaman in the ways of survival. And armed with a graphite compound bow, he leads a fight or die quest for blood and honor in a post-nuclear America gone straight to hell. The swamps are his battlefield. His mission is freedom. His methods extreme. A new kind of war needs a new kind of hero.
Wow.
This book sounds like a shitty 80s movie.
Yeah, it sounds like Rambo, but a post-nuclear Rambo.
I can't wait to read this book. It is a trilogy.
Oh boy.
Jake Spencer, wherever you are, where's the film rights for this? Other than that, we read Goosebumps this week. We read Monster Blood. What did you think of?
Yes, we did.
So what did you think of Monster Blood?
Monster Blood is probably my least favorite one so far.
I kind of felt like it was a scary concept until the ending. And they did the Simpsons.
I mean, I just find Evan Ross so unlikable.
He was even a character. I liked Andy a lot more than he did, or than him.
No, Andy was great, but I really did not like Evan.
Yeah. I guess we should talk about this cover.
Okay. Now, once again, I've got the new one.
And I have the old one.
Okay.
So, I guess I'll start. The tagline for this, from the front of my book, it says, "It's a monster blood drive." It's so bad. So, the cover is like a staircase, like a wooden staircase that is almost like in an L shape, but all the stairs are covered in green slime. They're just oozing down the steps. And there's also carpet on this, so I don't know how they're going to get this, green, radioactive sludge out of the carpets. But in dead center, there's a Jeffrey Dahmer type of glasses. So I'm pretty sure Monster Blood has eaten Jeffrey Dahmer, so that's a good thing for society.
Karma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop the murders before they begin.
That's how Monster Blood's actually a hero. It actually kills serial killers.
Yeah.
Now, what's your cover like?
Now, my cover is very different. It is a straight outside, as streets often are. And there is a big blobby mass of monster blood that is almost sort of in a humanoid form, which it doesn't do in the book.
No, it's just like one gelatinous form.
It's pouring out of a trash bin, and it's got like these stumpy arms and a kind of a frowny face, and there's there's all this stuff sticking out of it, like a hockey stick and a basketball and a baseball bat and a bit of a bicycle, I think. And it's like growing to take up the whole road, and it's sort of like frowning up at the reader.
Oh, I'm looking at this cover. Yeah.
It's a very dumb cover. I don't like it.
Now, what's the difference between this and the blob that ate everyone? They almost look like identical.
Yeah, it feels just like a weaker version of the cover of the blob that ate everyone.
And that's kind of Because I actually like the one that we have here, like my cover, just because it adds some mystery to it.
Yeah, it does. It's quite a subtle cover by Goosebumps standards.
Yeah, and so the back of the book, the back pun is blood everywhere.
And not a drop to
spare?
Drink? I don't know.
So here's the back of the book. While staying with the weird aunt, or great aunt Catherine, Evan visits a funky old toy shop and buys a dusty can of monster blood. It's fun to play with at first, and Evan's dog Trigger likes it so much he eats them. But then Evan notices something weird about the green slimy stuff. It begins to grow, and it's growing and growing, and all that growing has given the monster blood a monstrous appetite. Num num num. This book is weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so the book starts off with Evan going to live with his great aunt Kathy because his parents are going up to Atlanta City to look for a house because their dad is the stereotypical thing.
Sorry, did you say they go to Atlanta? I think you just said Atlantic City.
And mine, it says Atlantic City.
I thought it was Atlanta. In my version of the book, it's Atlanta. They must have changed it.
They must have, because it was Atlantic City. I remember reading that. Because I thought it was Atlanta, because I'm like, oh, this is where The Walking Dead starts. Oh, no, you are right. Yeah, it was Atlanta. I think they also talk about looking at Atlantic City.
Maybe that's in the later book, because Evan Ross's parents, in all of the Monster Blood sequels, they just kind of abandon him somewhere.
Bye! And they're just looking for apartments.
Evan Ross is such an unlikable character that not even his parents want to be around him.
Oh, that's harsh.
I really don't like him.
He's very bland. He's bland more than blanched potatoes.
And he's whiny, too.
Why do I have to go here? Aunt Catherine's deaf.
I know. And okay, so the deaf aunt does not use sign language.
Or knows how to read lips. And they make that a very clear point in this book. The way they communicate, though, is that she still speaks to him, but if he wants to answer back, he uses like a yellow legal pad.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, I guess they explain it later in the book, but it's still very strange.
That she talks to him, but he can't really respond to her. I mean, I guess to be fair, I don't know that many people that are deaf, so I don't know how that situation works.
Well, I mean, most people who are deaf either know how to lip read or they have sign language.
Yeah, most of the people I know that are deaf or hearing impaired, they use ASL.
So anyway, like, literally on the first page, Evan Ross is like, I don't want to stay here. Please don't leave me here. And he's tugging his mom's hand, trying to pull her away from the house. What are you, 3?
Yeah, and it's like he's complaining, and then his dad's like, excuse you. Almost like...
No, he does exactly like Tobias in Arrested Development, where that's what I pictured, where he's just like, well, excuse me.
No, I was thinking of like the Legend of Zelda animated series, like, excuse me, princess.
My reference is better because people actually remember Arrested Development.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I do not remember the Legend of Zelda cartoon. Nobody talks about the Legend of Zelda cartoon.
Except for right now, this fun discussion. So they dump Evan off into, Great Aunt Kathy's house.
And she opens the door holding a knife.
Yes, it turns out the old trick of it's like, I kind of keep Monster Squad, but they do the exact same thing. Like, oh, your pie's getting cold. Like, she's just like literally making a pie.
I can't wait until we get to The Girl Who Cried Monster, because I have something to reference for that.
Oh, sweet.
The TV episode where he's like, well, what's for dessert? You. like cherry pie. Wah wah.
So the weirdest thing happens in this, and I'm not sure if it's because of me as an adult or something, but then like halfway through this book, like Aunt Catherine, she starts asking if, Evan likes girls. Like, is he gay?
I know, it's like she feels the need to constantly say that he's heterosexual. Like, oh, I bet this one really likes the girls. I bet this one really likes the girls, don't you? Don't you, Evan? Don't you really like the girls?
It was really stupid in this book.
It was. And Aunt Catherine has some really shitposty lines in this. Like what was... Okay, I've highlighted one of them because it was ridiculous.
Oh, sure.
A big boy, not like his father. I used to call his father Chicken because he was no bigger than a chicken. She laughed as if she had cracked a really funny joke.
Oh my god.
That doesn't even make sense.
There are so many weird lines in this book. There's so many. We haven't even got to Andrea yet.
Andrea, you mean Andy.
Andy. No, I'm happy that I can actually make this reference, but I have a friend in high school. His name is Andreas, and his sister's name is Andrea.
Oh my god. People actually do that in real life?
Yeah, just for them.
Are they twins?
No. He's older by 2 years.
That's really strange.
So I kept thinking of both of them while reading this, because they go from Andrea to Andy, because we all call him Andy. So, hey, Andy. I don't know. So we meet Andrea, who is wearing leggings.
Oh, the old Goosebumps trope of leggings as pants. And she loves to call things stupid. She loves to call everything stupid.
My favorite quote that they had is like she's talking about, because she finds Trigger, which is a cool name for a dog, but she's like, oh, I like your dogs. I love stupid looking dogs. What's his name? Zach? Meg? I was like, that just hits us at a personal level. So, they become quick friends. Because
they do become, and I love that they have this, like, she is like, okay, I've highlighted what she's wearing because this sounds like such a hashtag look. She had short, wavy brown hair, almost black, and flashing brown eyes. She was wearing an oversized yellow t-shirt and black leggings with bright yellow Nikes.
Oh my god, that's fashion for today.
So fashion.
I'm pretty sure that hasn't changed either, because I'm thinking of it now, and I did wear black leggings.
Yeah, people still dress like that.
We're slowly going back in time more. I've seen people...
Good!
Like, wearing more 80s stuff. I've seen people wearing parachute pants again, and I'm like, no.
Well, actually, yeah, parachute pants is taking it too far. But anyway, Andy and Evan have this really cute thing together where Andy will always be like, well, that's stupid. You're stupid. And Evan's like, well, yep, guess I am. Because he's really got a crush on her. It's so cute. That's the only good thing about Evan, is that he's kind of cute with Andy.
But then, of course, we bump into the Breyer twins.
Yeah, who wear their shoes without socks.
Yes, Rick and Tony. And when I read them, I thought
it's always twins.
They're
always
evil
twins.
They're evil twins. And I thought of them, when I was reading them, their voices were greasers. They were just totally like greasers. Hey, yous. That's pretty much what I thought of, and it was really stupid.
And they walk up to them snapping their fingers.
Hey, they turn into the Fonz. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's what happens. This takes place in the 90s, so they all just binge Happy Days.
Oh, yeah.
So they find out that, they're just mean people. They're like, oh, you can't walk in here. It's a street tax. I'm like, I didn't know there was a toll road.
You gotta pay the troll toll.
If you want to get into the boy's soul.
You're saying boy's hole. No, I'm saying boy's soul. No, you're saying boy's hole.
Bless you, Danny DeVito.
Oh, I love Danny DeVito. Anyway, so
Danny DeVito confirmed to play both Rick and Tony in the Monster Blood movie.
I'm just imagining two Danny DeVitos, like, walking down the street aggressively snapping their fingers at people.
I would watch that.
I'd watch that movie, too.
And that's the whole movie. I would love to see Danny DeVito as a greaser in a movie.
They'll probably get to it on Always Sunny at some point, because...
in between the sweatshop working, he was a greaser.
Yeah.
So then they go to...
Yeah, they go to the local toy store.
And that's where we get into, like, weird, like, 1800s references, because it's called Novelties and Sundries. And I actually I was curious what sundries means. So
sundries just means random stuff, I think.
Yes, the definition is various items that are not important enough to be mentioned individually.
So they go in, and Evan's like,
Got any Nintendo games?
do you have any Nintendo games for us rad 90s teens?
Rad,
And-
cool.
No,
We just came out on our
Evan doesn't even
BMX
ask
bikes.
it. Evan asks Andy to ask if they have Nintendo games. And then Andy asks if they have Nintendo games. And then after a long silence, the man goes, don't sell them. Suspense.
Oh my gosh, what if they did?
What if they don't have Nintendo games? What are they going to do?
Well, he's got even better. He looks into the back room and finds this huge dusty can called Monster Blood.
And how big
And
do
the
you
guy-
think the can is? How big were you picturing this can?
I thought of it like a coffee can.
I mean, I thought it would be a little bit smaller than a coffee can, just like a little jam jar. I really wasn't imagining it being a can. I was imagining it being a jam jar because, cans I don't imagine of being,
Kind of like a bean can, almost.
or like a cookie tin, like a resealable one.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that.
cans, I usually imagine a can being you open it once and then you gotta get rid of it.
That's what I thought, Andy needed, or I guess Evan also needed, a can opener to open the Monster Blood can.
But why would a toy come in a can that you can't reseal?
Well, why did they sell nuclear accelerators to children in the 50s?
They what?
You didn't know that? In the 50s, they had, atomic sets where they gave you uranium and stuff to play with at home for kids. For kids.
A kid's toy!
Yeah. Came with a Geiger counter as well.
Oh, wow. So you could know if you were going to get cancer. That's
Well,
responsible.
that's before or after the children ate the uranium that came with it.
So anyway, speaking of eating stuff, they take the Monster Blood home.
And then they start playing with it, and they're just like, ooh, look how weird this stuff is. It bounces. It does everything Gak does. Which, did you ever play with Gak as a kid?
I cannot remember. I definitely played with Silly Putty, though, because I can remember getting Silly Putty stuck in my hair many times.
Ew, that sucks.
And then my mom would have to cut my hair.
I remember playing with Gak a lot. I remember it because it was the one that we had was you'd put your finger in it and make farting sounds.
Oh, yeah! I did have toys that were similar. I don't think I ever had the actual Gak, but I think I made we did a science project to make our own Gak.
Yeah, we did that as well. Speaking of that, we actually do have a science project on this episode, but that will be at the end of it. So you'll be
nice.
hearing good old mad scientist Chris.
Nice. So here we go. Yeah, I found all of the references to her going, he likes the girls. Good looking boy, she said, giving his chin a hard squeeze. He likes the girls? He likes the girls, huh? Catherine said. He likes the girls, Catherine repeated, leering at him with her cold blue eyes, again lowering her face close to Evan's. Go see your girlfriend, Catherine said. So she just really needs to confirm that he's heterosexual.
Oh, yes, not gay whatsoever.
Because I guess Evan just gives off gay vibes. I'm not saying that as a detriment to gay people, because I do not like Evan Ross, but I do like gay people.
Oh, no, they're the best.
Yeah.
But I guess because she's old, she's old-timey, homophobic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, so they play with the Monster Blood. They find out that it bounces really high.
Yes, and it sticks to anything.
It sticks to anything. It probably makes fart noises when you put your hand in it.
It makes the monster fart noises. They really let them rip.
Oh, yeah.
Then the worst thing happens. Instead of Trigger eating chocolate, he eats Monster Blood.
And then he runs away before they can get him to drop it, and he eats it.
Yes, he eats a bit of it.
Yeah. So they leave the Monster Blood out, and they find that it starts growing.
Yes, wait, that's before Evan actually has his Inception dream.
Oh, yeah, the dreams within dreams.
Yes, this is before, Inception, so I'm pretty sure that,
R.L. Stine beat him to it.
Yeah, beat him to it. So Leonardo DiCaprio and all the people that made Inception, you're going to be getting letters in the mail soon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably 12 years too late, but
Then, have we talked about the cat?
No, we haven't talked about Sarah Beth yet.
Yeah, the cat Sarah Beth, who just kind of wanders around.
Oh, yeah, so Great Aunt Catherine is deaf, but she has a cat with her at all times, a black cat named Sarah Beth.
Hearing ear cat.
Yeah.
No, that's not what she is. She's just a normal cat.
Could you have a seeing eye cat?
You
I feel
probably
like
could. I don't know.
That'd be really inconvenient.
Yeah.
Because at least dogs are more obedient, and you can train them a lot easier than you can.
You can train cats, but it takes a while.
Yeah.
They have to keep Trigger outside because the cat doesn't like the dog. And
Oh, so they keep him outside in the cold because Trigger's a really old dog. He's like 12 years old.
oh, poor thing.
And he's a lab.
Is he?
I think he's a lab. He's a
He's
big
a collie
dog.
in the TV show.
Oh, I think he's a cocker spaniel.
A cocker spaniel?
Isn't that what it is?
Cocker spaniel. A cocker spaniel. Oh my god.
So he can't confirm he's a dog.
Yeah. So he's a dog. Cocker spaniel. Anyway. So Andy looks at the cat and says, "That cat looks so intelligent." And Evan goes, "It's as stupid as every other cat."
And that's when the cat pulls out a gun and shoots him. But luckily, that was a dream within a dream. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Evan has this dream within a dream where the monster blood is eating him.
And then he falls asleep and wakes up again. And it turns out that Trigger is turning into a monster. And like he's growing bigger, and he's like teeth are shooting out of him. Like he's getting like fangs. And then he attacks Evan. Then he falls back asleep.
Yeah. But then he wakes up and he does notice that the dog is bigger.
Yes, and also Freddy Krueger is there as well.
No, he takes the dog to the vet.
No. He finds out that the dog is growing bigger because he starts choking, and he takes off the collar.
Yeah.
Which is a really scary thing. If you ever had a dog like wheeze and cough and
my
can't
God.
breathe, it is a nightmare. Oh my gosh.
Anybody listening to this who's a dog owner, learn how to do the Heimlich on your dog.
I've had to do it to my dog once.
Me too.
It's not a pretty thing, and it's a really scary sound. So I can see how that's a really scary thing for children.
Yeah. He takes the dog to the vet, and the vet says, "Well, this is just a late growth spurt. It's very unusual."
But we'll get all the lab results back, so we'll see if there's something actually different.
The lab results, because he's a dog.
Now I'm thinking when I thought that is so he got all better, but they still have that sample. Is it like in the X-Files somewhere? It's like or the sample just keeps growing.
Yeah. So you end up with a gigantic dog hair. It's like a dog hair that is as big as a man.
Honey, I Blew Up the Dog.
Honey, I Blew Up the Kid was not supposed to be a sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It was a completely unrelated movie.
Really? Did they just add Rick Moranis?
They just changed all the names.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Because they thought, well, this script won't do very well on its own, so let's make it a sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That's funny.
Yeah, they used to do that a lot with movies.
I actually really liked Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but I
love that movie too.
At the Imagination Theater, or I guess IMAGE Theater, they always change the name, in Disneyland when they had the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. That was so much fun to go to. I'm a big thing of 4D movies. Mm. But let's have a Monster Blood ride. Actually, there is a Goosebumps event at SeaWorld in San Diego.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why SeaWorld?
I have no clue. Because Deep Trouble.
But that's nobody's favorite Goosebumps book.
I don't know. But there was also a huge stage show that they did at Disney MGM in the 90s.
I remember when I was a little kid. Oh no, is that the one that has Stay Out of the Attic?
No. It's its own little stage show.
I'm thinking of Screams in the Dark.
I think that might be what it was called. They had a stage show at Disney MGM where it was a Mazo would make all these really awful jokes, and he would bring the audience members up. And then Slappy and a Mummy came out, and Curly came out. It was really cool. It's on YouTube. I'll probably put it in the show notes.
Cool. Yeah, but what I was gonna say is I remember when I was 6 or 7, my parents took me to Universal Studios in California. And at that time, there was a Beetlejuice stage show.
Oh, yeah.
And Beetlejuice has been my favorite movie pretty much since birth. I came out of the womb loving the movie Beetlejuice.
Then I have to tell you this. We went to Mexico 2 years ago, and there is a nightclub that's Beetlejuice. They have Beetlejuice as their mascot.
Holy shit.
It's in Cancun. It's called the Coco Bongo. It has Beetlejuice and Spider-Man, and I don't get it.
It doesn't have the mask?
I think it also has the mask. I'm
The
fairly
mask
certain.
had the club called the Coco Bongo in the movie.
I think it also had the mask as well.
Yeah, it did, because
It was
Mexican
like-
people
it-
love that movie for some reason. And I want to go to Mexico because apparently, like, everyone in Mexico loves all my favorite movies.
Yes, because so there is then there's also a mask and I just remember because there was Spider-Man there. But I
Nice.
remember that there was Beetlejuice and the mask were there. It's called the Coco Bongo.
Beautiful. So then the kids notice that the monster blood is getting bigger, right? And they can't keep it in the jar anymore. So they
No,
put
it's
it...
actually bubbling out because it's actually it's getting super hot. And if you put your hands in it, you start sinking into it. Like you can't get it off you.
It just...
just-
it just makes a fart noise. That's what happens when you put your hand in it.
Oh yeah, because it makes all these weird noises.
So it does
So-
make a fart noise.
It just farts. It's kind of like I'm trying to remember. Oh, from like Brain Dead, where they had like the intestines that would fart to make
Yes.
noise. That's what I was thinking of.
God, I love that movie.
It's so good. So then they realize that they can't stop this. So what they do is they put it in garbage bags.
And they're like dragging it down the street. And in my absolute favorite moment in this book, some older kid drives up, rolls the window down, sticks his head out and goes, "Oi, what's in the bag? A dead body?"
Yeah, because that isn't shady at all. Because they're like dragging this stuff.
Yeah. That genuinely made me laugh.
Yeah, it made me laugh a bit. It made me chuckle. Except no, wait, I forgot my favorite part of this book. It's the part where they like start like the monster blood's starting to grow, and Andy's like, "I don't want to do any of this stuff. You want to come to my house and watch Indiana Jones?" Like, yeah, it seems like my type of situation.
Yeah. And then they're trying to come up with what to do with it, how to get rid of it.
They decide to try to take it back to the store, and when they do, turns out it's out of business because they don't sell Nintendo games.
Dun dun dun! The old trope of that little shop that wasn't there anymore, and then when you try to return the thing, it's gone.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate when you have all this stuff that's really needful, and you need to get these things away.
Yeah.
And then Satan's there as well, and
And Satan turns into the guy that runs the store turns into a
Apple Corporation.
goblin at the end, and he rides away. That's what happens in the book. I swear to God.
I was thinking, I love that book, but also I really like the Needful Things episode they had in Rick and
On
Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
One of their great ideas that they have when they're trying to come up with how to get rid of the monster blood, Evan sighed miserably. Maybe I could give it to Catherine and tell her it's beef. Then she'd chop it up with that knife she's always carrying around. And as a note, I have written, monster blood
But
looks less like beef than anything has ever looked.
What are you talking about? Monster blood is people. Yep, it's Soylent Green. Monster blood is sentient Soylent Green. So they take it back home and they put it in the bathtub.
And then it tries to suck Evan up, doesn't it?
Yes, and it's just like nom 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 nom, and they're like, nope.
Okay.
So they run out of the basement, and Evan tries to tell Great Aunt Catherine, and she freaks out. But then she thinks he's just joking about it.
Of course she does.
And then what happens afterwards is they go outside, and the monster blood starts seeping out, and that's when the Bayer twins come, and it eats a bird, monster blood. It eats the children,
The Bayer twins.
the Bayer twins, and it tries to come after them. So Evan, Andy, and Aunt Catherine are whimpering in the house. It's like knocking on the door.
The monster blood is knocking on the door?
Knocking on the door.
Anyway, okay, the way that the monster blood is described is really funny to me. Like, it's not scary at all. Okay, listen to this. It peeled off and came bouncing towards them at surprising speeds.
Boing, 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 boing.
Menacing!
Hey, if it's something like the Blob, where I feel like it would be really scary to see, except you're not gonna have any body horror where it's gonna like melt you, because the Bayer twins are in there, and it's pretty much like Jello, like they're just stuck in it.
Yeah, it's like a Jello salad, but with people.
Oh yeah, from Fairly Odd Parents.
No, from life. Jello salads are a thing.
Jello salads are. I'm thinking of like they had the exact same thing that they did in Fairly Odd Parents, where a meteor was coming. So Timmy wished that the whole town was covered in Jello, so the meteor bounced off, and the whole town was saved.
Amazing.
So, it turns out then that Aunt Kathy was faking it. She hasn't been deaf all along because an evil witch put a spell on her to make her deaf and lose her hearing. And that evil witch is actually the cat Sarah Beth who actually made the Monster Blood. Does that make any sense to you?
Mm-hmm. So they bought the Monster Blood from the store.
Which the guy's like, you shouldn't buy that. It ain't good anymore. Well, I'll give you $2 for it. Deal.
So they bought the Monster Blood from the store, and when they took it home, Sarah Beth put a curse on it.
Yes, because Sarah Beth only wanted to have Aunt Catherine because she's jealous of everyone else, and by having Evan over, she broke her contract with Sarah Beth. Thus, she wants to kill the children now so she can have Sarah Beth can have great Aunt Catherine all to herself.
So how did Sarah Beth, in the TV show, Sarah Beth was a boarder that Aunt Catherine took in?
In this, I think they were, I'm pretty sure they were just lovers.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I think that's what happened. Aunt Catherine and Sarah Beth were lovers, and then...
Sarah Beth in the TV show has such a look as well. Like, in this book, of course, she's got, like, red hair or something.
And she wears all black. I feel like she wears, like, this, like Catwoman type of, like, sneaking, like, a black turtleneck, black pants, and black shoes.
But I like how she looks in the TV show where she's wearing sort of like this long black dress and she's actually got black hair and it's really short.
Oh yeah.
She looks a little bit like somebody from The Craft.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
So it turns out that, Sarah Beth wants to murder them all.
With the Monster Blood.
So she tries to sick the Monster Blood on them. But as that's happening, Trigger comes out and he's like 20 feet big now. And
yes.
he actually he barks.
He borks them to death.
Yeah, so he causes the monster.
He borks Sarah Beth.
He borks Sarah Beth to death. And she falls into the Monster Blood.
He gives her a real harsh spook.
Yes, she gets so spooked she actually loses her footing like Dr. Orwell and falls into the Monster Blood.
Yes.
And she dies. Unfortunately, Tony and Rick survive. The bird survives, and Trigger turns back into a regular 12-year-old dog.
Yes.
And they're all happy because, Aunt Catherine got a telegram. Was like, I'm thinking of, like, I thought...
Did people get telegrams still?
I thought this book was probably in the Series of Unfortunate Events universe.
Where they have, Nintendo and telegrams in the same book.
Yes. So they get a telegram saying that they found an apartment after a fortnight of looking, and the consumption didn't get anybody. So they're gonna be moving in. Evan's mom's coming very soon to pick him up.
Good.
And, Andy and Evan are just like, yeah, they have the high five in the air stop, and all of a sudden they realize something: the Monster Blood is gone.
Oh no!
And that's
where it went.
No one knows where it goes. Bloody, I don't know. So that's Monster Blood, and I thought it was okay until the ending when it had the witch magic, and then I thought it was stupid.
Yeah, if it had just been like they just found the Monster Blood and it was like
expired, like how the shopkeeper was.
Yeah, and if it just although that would have been more stupid that a normal children's toy a normal children's toy that's gone out of date becomes a growing monster that eats people.
I mean, we'll get to that and why I think that can be possible. Just because I don't understand how you eat it and you start growing. Because later on, I think Evan eats it and he grows to 50 feet tall.
Yeah, in Monster Blood 3, he becomes a giant.
And then in Monster Blood 4, there's just other Monster Blood.
The squiggly Monster Blood with eyes and stuff. I hate that book.
Any redeeming qualities about this book?
I don't know. I find that, the really terrible dialogue is kind of amusing. This isn't taffy. It's disgusting.
It's more wooden than slappy, this dialogue.
Yeah, it is.
And Evan doesn't seem like a kid. He just seems like... I don't even know. He seems like a robot that complains.
Yeah.
Like he's programmed to complain.
Yeah. Andy should have been the main character.
Yes. And her leggings would, kick the Monster Blood.
Yes.
Back into the can.
With her big yellow Nikes.
Aw, yeah. The things that I thought that were scary is the idea that, you can't stop something from growing, much like, how like water, you can't really stop water because it'll just build up pressure. I thought that was a terrifying concept.
It is.
I thought like the idea of like, and I'm going to use a D&D quote, but like the gelatinous cube, like it sucks people up and you die is a really scary concept in this. Like
Except you don't die.
Well, no,
the monster's blood just pukes you out later.
Yes, or you will die, and then your whole body will just decompose in the slime. And it's a terrifying concept. What was your favorite part of this book?
Well, I already told you. I think my favorite part of the book is when the kid pulls up next to them and he's like, "Hey, what's that? A dead body?" There was some like funny jokes in this book. Like there was that, and then there was a bit where like Evan's like, "I don't care, I'm out of here," and he goes to high five Andy, and it just says Andy did not cooperate, and I find that hilarious for some reason. Just like, I'm just imagining her like with not moving her hand at all and just looking at Evan like, "Are you serious? You're gonna high five me?" No,
it's like leaving him hanging.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And Evan's just the entire rest of the book is he has his hand out like you have to
high five me,
bro.
High five me, Andy. High five me.
The monster blood's coming. Fine, I'll high five you. Yeah. No, high five my other hand.
No, she finally high fives him, and she does the and then when she finally goes to high five him, he's like, "Too slow."
Oh no.
And then she punches him.
Yeah, that seems like the total like 90s thing to do.
Evan should have been punched. I would have punched him if I was Andy.
Now, rating this book from the monster, was the monster scary or stupid?
Yeah.
That is an answer. Yes.
Yes.
So the monster is stupid or scary?
The monster is, it's both a little bit. I mean, the concept of blob monsters as a whole is always scary to me, but monster blood, compared to some of the other blob monsters in this series, like King Jelly Jam, and the blob that ate everyone, and the kid from Stay Out of the Basement, or not Stay Out of the Basement, I Live in the Basement. What's his name? It's like Kevin or something.
The blob's name is Kevin?
Well, he's not really a blob, but that's like his true form. That's like his final form.
Oh, okay. So this is like getting the Dragon Ball Z territory. Like it's a super, super, super deluxe form.
Yeah. But anyway, compared to the other blob monsters that will come later in the series, Monster Blood is boring.
Yeah. I recommend if you want to read this, I think you should start Monster Blood 2. I think it's a much better book.
It is.
And then Monster Blood 3 is also really good. And the great thing about them is that they kind of give you a refresher with each book.
Yeah, so you don't have to read all of them.
I thought the book was okay at times. The magic was a little stupid. Monster Blood, just being a gelatinous form, just skip this one, go to Monster Blood 2.
Yeah.
And if you ever meet Evan, just ignore him and walk away. And if you
call him a nerd and throw something at him.
And if you meet Rick and Tony, just become like a super preppy and they might leave you alone.
Yeah.
Just put on your polo and walk around.
Snap your fingers at them.
And then they challenge you to like a knife fight, but they tie your hands together.
What book are we reading next week?
We're going to be reading a Fear Street book, and we're going to be reading an old classic, I think. I don't know. It's called Final Grade, and the tagline is, "Will Lily get an A in murder?"
Oh, this is one of the Fear Street books. We're not doing Ghosts of Fear Street.
No, we're doing an OG Fear Street book.
Oh, it's about to get very young adult.
Oh my god. I feel like we're going to step back into the 80s, so I'm going to have to figure out how to do the Michael Jackson.
The moonwalk.
Do the moonwalk. Yeah, so I'm excited to read this book. Are you excited?
I'm excited to read this one too, because I haven't read any of the Fear Street books.
I'm interested to see how these go. Oh, hey Meg, we have a listener question that's actually kind of convenient for this episode.
What is it?
So the listener question from Pink Fairy 2710. How would you see yourself being eaten?
Pink Fairy what? Sounds like this person might be into vor.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
That's a little bit of a weird question.
I guess if you're being chased by a monster, how would you?
What does this question mean? What if you had to be eaten by something? What would you want to eat you? Is that what they're asking?
I'm pretty sure that's what they want because it just says, "How would you see yourself eaten?"
I would choose killer whale.
Why?
Because killer whales are badass and majestic, and I feel like the killer whale is the only animal that would be like worthy of besting me in a fight.
Oh, really? Because I would go like the Captain Jack Sparrow route, and I'd want to be eaten by the Kraken.
Actually, no. If we're including mythical animals,
Oh, yes, of course, mythical animals.
if we're including mythical animals, I would want to. I don't know. I'm still gonna go with killer whale because I'm afraid of like mythical sea animals. I don't know. Maybe a werewolf actually, because like either you die or like
You become a werewolf?
you become a werewolf. If you get away, you become a werewolf, and who doesn't want that?
People that read Twilight, because they all want to be vampires.
Jacob's not a werewolf. Jacob's not a werewolf. He is a shapeshifter.
So you can reach me at ghoulishfancies@gmail.com, or you can email the show at nightmareandfearstreet@gmail.com, or you can follow us on Twitter at nightfearstreet.
Thank you for joining me on this spooky adventure. I am on Twitter at Meg Tuden. That's at MEGTUTEN. And I'm on Tumblr, sodasodabanana.tumblr.com. And I'm also on YouTube. Just search for Meg Tuden.
And guys, we actually have a really cool segment for you guys. You guys are in for a treat. We actually got our friend Chris, who was in the last episode of the Mad Scientist podcast, to explain to you guys how is it possible that Monster Blood keeps growing and growing, and also how to make Monster Blood at home. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and please stay spooky. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to a slightly mad science goosebump power 15 minutes or so. I'm your mini-host, Chris Cogswell, soon to be PhD if I can annoy my advisor enough, and specialist in all things spooky, but also science-y. Tonight's topic is monster blood, that mysterious substance that oozes and slimes, making things grow upon contact and turning hamsters and other pets into horrible monsters. Neat, and definitely good for ages 5 and up. Alright, so monster blood is supposed to be a sort of gack or silly putty slime-like substance that has a slightly cool touch at first. And like all good mysterious oozes, it is bright green. Upon contact with a living organism, it causes them to grow into hideous giant monsters, as you do when a spooky slime touches your skin. Could some sort of slime or putty cause you to grow quickly and horribly? Well, growth ultimately is a cellular process. When we're developing in the womb, we begin as a small packet of stem cells, which replicate and change depending on chemical inputs to form into cells like skin cells, the cells of the specific organs, neurons, and all the sorts of cells in the body. After these cells have been differentiated, they lose the ability to act as completely changeable stem cells. Instead, stem cells past this development point act as sort of templates for certain areas of the body. So the stem cells in your organs can change into cells within that specific organ. Stem cells in the skin can turn into skin cells or cells for blood vessels of the skin layers, and other stuff. Growth is then dependent on cells dying and being replaced by new cells. I mean, it's pretty nuts, but all of your cells are replaced at least a few times during your lifetime, except for very specialized and important cells such as your brain cells. Your skin is completely replaced in around 30 days, so each month you get new skin. Pretty scary, honestly, if you think about it. And even spookier if you think about the spooky skeleton underneath all the cells. So monster blood. How the heck could it grow something to monstrous size? The only way would be to impact the cells to tell them to start growing in crazy ways. This maybe sort of is possible by the application of certain proteins to tell the cells to initiate growth. For instance, human growth hormone or HGH. But it would have to be like human growth hormone times 1,000,000. And likely it wouldn't cause everything to grow, but only the cells that are turned over regularly. So maybe your muscles would get huge, but your bones won't necessarily be able to take the strain, since they take much longer than muscle cells to turn over. Okay, well, how can we make pseudo-monster blood at home then? This is the fun stuff, although the producers of this show bear no responsibility for any accidents or problems that come up when you make this stuff. It's going to be messy, so do it in your kitchen or backyard or somewhere that you can clean up easily. And do not eat this stuff, please. It won't taste very good, and you would look silly doing so anyways. So, for this experiment, you need to buy a 4-ounce bottle of Elmer's glue, either clear or blue. White will work too, but it won't look as good. You also need to buy borax, which is the trade name for sodium borate or sodium tetraborate, and which can often be found in the detergent or cleaning aisle of your local store. The boron will cause the slime to stiffen up, due to a polymerization reaction that is occurring between short polymer species in the glue and the boron atoms, which are causing these chains to attach to one another. Okay, so first step is to make a borax and water solution. So take a cup and place in 2 teaspoons of the solid borax powder. You then place 1/3 a cup of warm water into the cup with the borax, and stir until all of the borax crystals are dissolved. If you want your slime to be green or blue or whatever, you can add food coloring or glow-in-the-dark paint or whatever to color the borax solution at this point. Set this mixed solution aside for now. Take another cup and put in the Elmer's glue. Mix this with 1 cup of warm water, and again stir until it is a single consistency and all mixed together. Now for the polymerization. Take a small amount of the borax solution and place it into the Elmer's glue solution and stir it up vigorously. This will initiate the polymerization, and you may feel your solution growing slightly warm to the touch. This is because polymerization is exothermic, which is a nerd word that means it releases heat. The more borax solution you add to the slime, the more thick and solid it will become. It is important that you add the solutions to each other slowly and with stirring, to give the reaction time to complete. Otherwise, it may take a long time to get a true slime going. And that's it! You now have the safe version of Monster Blood. Now don't do like I did as a kid, and start throwing this up at the ceiling in your house to see if it will stick. Because it will, and it will leave behind a green or blue or whatever color you chose spot on the ceiling that my mom still to this day doesn't know was caused by me as a little kid.